with the
Hello, and welcome to another installment of Petty Party with me, Jay Carnage, and the fabulous Adrian Coleman from Red Lentil Healing, and Johnie from Johnny's Terrell. I'm really happy to have you on this Halloween All Hallows Eve night.
Well, I should get fabulous and I don't get no adjective.
Oh, you fabulous too, baby. I was just trying to think of something else. I was trying to figure out what else I could say about you.
handsome.
Because I'm telling you,
amazing.
you don't know how much I'm studying your videos. You and Adrian, you've become
Dear
my
God.
tarot teachers.
I already told him earlier his big deck gives me wood. So,
But Johnny, how do I get the volume up on this thing?
You just turn up your actual phone volume.
Well, I've turned up my phone. It's all the way up.
That's all you can do.
And that's crazy. Oh, you know what?
Go into your cam and
It's
mic
supposed to be
settings and see if
connected to the
your audio is
Bluetooth,
turned up.
but it's not coming through. Let me see what the dealio is. It says it's connected.
So
Let
your
me
cam
try.
and mic, your cam and mic feature, if you click on that, it should show whether or not your Bluetooth is picking it up.
All right, can you guys say something?
yep. How about that? Does that work?
It still sounds really low. I don't know if it seems to be. Say something now.
It's low for you.
Yes, because it's coming through the phone, and for some reason, it's not connecting to the Bluetooth. Happy All Hallows Eve to all of you. I thought I did. Hey, J Cat Lady and Cappy's mom and Troy Bell Jones
Hi,
and
Troy.
Jade LLR and Renee Lyons. Thank you for joining us. We're gonna have some fun tonight. Because we're going to talk about ridiculous stories and even church stories. I mean, we're just going to have some fun because I think we all deserve it. We're closing in on that great and fateful day, Election Day. But a little housekeeping first. I want to let you two know that this is just for fun. It's for kicks and giggles, and we're just here to get some laughs at other people's expense. So, yes, it's only for entertainment purposes. And I will also let you know that my opinions are my own. I will stand toe-to-toe with you on them. So if you're offended, you might want to go somewhere else. Also, if you're a Trump supporter, you need to find your lane because this is not it. You don't like trolls. I don't know. Maybe I should be kinder and gentler. Our boy from Secretary of Shade, DDM, Dapper Dan Midas, said that he invited them in because they just might catch a word. And I know Johnny is also very tolerant of it. But if it gets nasty and there's a bunch of name calling, then, kill them. Now, I have some Halloween makeup on, but I'm looking at this and I just look weird. I just look like I had a mistake with, I wanted to do a jaguar or a cat face, and I didn't have my theatrical makeup, so I tried it with regular makeup, and I'm looking at myself and I think I look kind of foolish, but hey, it's
But
Halloween.
if you're going to do
Care
that, this is the day to
on
do
a
that.
blue moon.
Yeah, if you don't look like a jackass, today's the day to look like a jackass. So,
Today's the day to do it.
right.
I think I do like a jackass most days, but who cares? Who's going to remember? I have been very, very busy working 12-hour days, canvas. Well, we did a little canvassing, but phone banking for Dems in Georgia. We stand a great chance of going blue. I am in deep meditation and prayer and thanksgiving and gratitude that we are at least in the ballpark. I was pleasantly surprised through this experience to find how many Republicans are saying they're going to go with Biden. So they're probably
Oh, hell's bells. Bear with us, folks. We're still live, though.
Yes, her blue moon is messing her up too.
Retrograde, y'all. Blue moon, full moon, nude moon.
She'll be back though.
Beautiful, all of them.
This is some bull. Oh, there it is. This is a bullshit. Anyway, yes. Now it's coming through my Bluetooth and I can hear you all. Maybe that's what I had to do, go out and come back in.
There you go.
But however, yes, I have been working very hard with other Dem supporters. We're looking at John Ossoff to replace Sonny, what he named? Not Sonny Perdue.
That face fucker.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, him.
And it was something during their debate that Ossoff read down his record and said and looked at him and said, "Not only are you a crook, but you're a liar." I think it left Perdue stunned.
He also gave a good read during that debate. That was like he read.
That was like
an old drag queen from the 70s.
Yeah, it did. You wanted to start snapping your fingers in the. He really did lay him down, and you could see the stunned look on Perdue's face. He was like, "What the fuck?" and decided that he wasn't going to come and do another debate with this boy.
He took his tail between his legs.
Oh, yes, he did. He said you voted 4 times to to crush the ACA and to prevent people from getting help that had pre-existing conditions. And boy, oh boy. And of course, he had to speak about the insider trading that he and Kelly Loeffler were up to and claiming that they didn't know anything about it. Listen, anybody with that kind of money is always in touch. Even if you don't have that kind of money, if you've invested money, you're always in touch with your investment person. You're always in touch. They just don't arbitrarily do shit for you. They need your permission. And so now we're also looking at Raphael Warnock, who is ahead of Kelly Loeffler and that screaming banshee bitch, Doug Collins. But then we have the times that I have to speak to Trump supporters and Republicans. All they want to know about any candidate is, are they Republican? If they Republican, they got my vote. And I'm thinking, you stupid bastard. You don't even know why you're voting Republican. You're just voting because you believe the lies that are being told about Joe Biden. Yeah, Yeah. So yeah, I'm really pleased. We're winding down. We have a couple of hours tomorrow to do some things, and then I think we're going to be all clear. And I hope everybody in the chat has gone out and cast your vote. If you have an absentee ballot, do not mail it. I repeat, do not mail it. You take it to your polling station and put it in the receptacle. Hand it to somebody, to a polling person. You do whatever you need to do to get your ballot in so that it gets counted. Now, what we saw.
Read the instructions. If it says you need to submit a photo ID, submit the photo ID. If it says black ink, please don't use your purple unicorn ink, dude.
Right. Don't use your pink ink. Young children.
We got a radio ad here playing that's telling you blue or black ink. Put it in the secret folder. Put the secret folder inside the voting folder, basically, and then take it in, like it's giving you step by step. That way, your vote is not rejected.
Yep,
that's right. Sign every place you need to sign. Read it over. Double check it. Triple check it so that it's not rejected.
Don't put 10, 20, 20. Put 10, 20, 20, 20.
Yes.
Right.
Actually, they at the bank too, they said don't sign anything 20. Do 2020.
Yep.
But I am pleased with the. See, we did polling all phone banking all over the country, and especially in the swing states in Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Iowa. And there were a lot, I have to say, there are a lot of people who are happy about Trump, but there were a wonderful number of folks who were saying, you know what? One elderly lady told me, I'll never vote Republican again. And she was over 60. She was over 65, actually. And she was saying that all her life she'd been a Republican, but that she would never vote Republican again. So there are some folks that are really sick of him, and perhaps those that aren't speaking out loud will actually throw their hat in with Biden. But Biden was leading. I had more Biden because what I found out about this company was they are the, what do they say? The largest, if not one of the largest conservative polling places. They do a lot of work on behalf of Republicans. And President Trump, while in Pennsylvania, actually called out the name of the company, which made the owner of it, his balls got all big and his chest got big and shit. He was strutting around there like he had something going on between his legs, So I wasn't impressed. They know that I am a Democrat and I don't hide it. And whenever he wants to talk to me about something, he knows I'm not trying to hide that I'm a Dem. I'm surrounded by Republicans. Anywho, moving on. We want to have some fun tonight. And so the topic tonight is ridiculous news. And of course, it wouldn't be a petty party if we couldn't make fun of some of just we have to do a little political petty. I heard the reptile out there making a speech. She's stumping for Spanky, as Becca calls him. She's out, and I'm thinking, I can't even understand this bitch. What is she talking about? Talking about they have gotten rid of COVID and it's safe for our children to go back to school. She's going on, just lie after lie after lie after lie. So I'm wondering how she's feeling standing up there telling those lies. I guess they're all hoping that this man stays in office because it looks like they got they're going to lose a whole lot of stuff.
But one of the lie you would tell is that you got rid of it.
Right.
Like,
that's
so that means nobody else, period, should ever get sick from it. Mind you, I said this in the beginning. If this bastard had COVID in the first place, right, and you got well in 3 days, you are 4 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you got well in 3 days, and people in their 20s dropping dead in a week. So tell me, how is it you, with underlying conditions at 74 years old at 322 pounds, got well in 3 days, but this child who, is a triathlon athlete.
Right.
Yeah. Tell me how that happens. Explain.
Dead in 2 days.
Yeah, make it make sense.
She said she got rid of hers eating right and taking vitamins, some bullshit.
And eating well.
And some oil and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
right.
Okay.
Well, speaking of, Stephen Miller now has been off the scene. He's got COVID. His wife had COVID. And now they're expecting a baby. I didn't know vampires could procreate.
He got it too?
Yeah, he's got it. That's why he's not been around.
That's why none of this, the timelines don't make sense. His wife caught it early, 2 months ago. It was way before everybody in the White House got sick. Keep in mind, during that same timeline, they procreated a child. Because that's right around when she found out she was pregnant. And then you mean to tell me now this motherfucker got sick months later? Nobody, I was like, you guys pay attention to the timelines. This shit don't make sense to me.
It doesn't. It does not. It does not make sense. I think what's happening is that some of these folks are probably jumping ship. You know what I mean? Because it looks like it's going to be looking like rats from a sinking ship. But again, I didn't know vampires could have babies, and I'm really scared for the child, you know, to have parents.
Johnie, did you did a really good reading about what hopes that child has for.
He's gonna ditch this child. Oh God.
You talking about Stephen Miller's?
It would have to understand that it's in a bad situation. Anybody can reverse training. So because their parents are more than likely going to teach them to be a compassionless person, because that's what they are.
That's
and
what they are.
In the nicety of it all, a compassionless person.
Mm-hmm.
So that child would have to recognize that I am a compassionless person and then reverse that training and then become a completely different person. Otherwise, it's just doomed as his parents are.
Yep.
I mean, you know, you are a product of your environment. And I actually wonder if maybe some understanding will come to him once he has a child, or if he will treat this child and they end up like Uday and Usay.
They
Trump.
do say that having a child does change you, but it's not going to change him. Because I think he doesn't have a foundation of a compassionate heart. He has a foundation of a black heart. So I don't think that I don't think anything but his, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. So don't run with this and go ask everybody in the world, y'all. I think the only thing that would possibly break the blackness that is there, the voidness that is there, is his child dying. Not the fetus. Like once the child is born and is here and you're connected to it, if that child were to die, then that would probably change who he is. Or make him even darker. But I think that's the thing that shakes a lot of people like him. But
do you all want to throw a few cards on Dracula's son?
Johnie did it. We can, but Johnie, I know that's Johnny's reading. He did such an in-depth reading.
He did that on November, and I'm just getting through it. And Johnie, I want to say it's just fascinating. Any of you that haven't watched Johnny's installment, the 3-hour one, it is really, really
very good.
It's great. Yeah, it's in depth. It's really good. It's just amazing how connected you are to spirit and I'm just watching your hands handle the cards because I'm going to become that adept one of these old days. You know?
I'll throw Oracle. How about that? Since I did the
Okay.
What question did you want to ask particularly, Jay?
I want to ask first of all, I want to know if he's really ill or what is he emotionally feeling right now? How is he faring?
You know, there is a card in one of my decks that is, I think it's the golf one where the vampire is hanging upside down. It's the hangman is what it is. But he is
That's what it is.
From the hangman, because the hangman is the person who changes their perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Who gains knowledge, who gains even divine knowledge because there's a halo around his head. That's totally not him. But
yeah, no, I really think, you know, people coming from, you know, born, his parents had to, if your parents don't want to be bothered with you and your family is saying, we don't like him either, you know, maybe people ought to pay attention. We disown him. You know, you might want to take a look at it.
What's interesting, I pulled tarot. So at the crux of this is the magician. That's him. He's always been the one that knows where all the pieces are, all the players are able to spin and make and do the trickery and disgustingness that he does. And it's crossed by Pentacles. That's his work. In the past, however, it was his 3 of Cups, the celebration. I was able to do the shit that I did and get it going. However, at the crown of this is the 6 of Swords. This motherfucker's gonna have to pack up and leave, and the outcome is the Star, which is one of my yes cards. This motherfucker's gonna go.
Yes.
I'm gonna proclaim it and claim it, so let it be.
Yes, amen. And Johnny, what'd you get your oracle card?
Well, you asked how he was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wondering how he's feeling right now because that girl must be ready to have the baby. It's been a while.
Gotta be for long.
Yeah.
So I get imagine is the first card that I get. This is contemplation, being in your head, so forth and so forth. Yin, this is the woman, and then all that glitters. There's something about her he doesn't quite understand. Maybe she's just going through a hormonal period because she is carrying a child, so forth and so forth. But he ain't really digging her right now. But
he's not.
He's just kind of wondering what's going on because what he's looking at is not what's happening. So she's probably a different person on the inside and the outside.
She's probably looking at him and saying, "How did I lay down with this ugly motherfucker?"
What? Okay.
She's not that good looking either, though. So let's just be honest. Like that would be a total pot meets kettle kind of situation.
Child, that is a wedding. The whole thing came from hell. You know, all of it.
But what I want, because I think that the word "ugly" is the worst word in the English language. And I don't know, maybe it's a past life thing because I've never been called it, and it doesn't hurt my feelings. I just think it's a horrible word because just because a person doesn't fit your standard of beauty doesn't
mean
they're beautiful to somebody.
I feel
but
but you know what? In this case, Johnny, I am not apologizing. I am not.
Here's the rest of the thing.
Okay.
Listen to this other little piece. When you look at him, though, what are you seeing that says, "Oh, I need a piece of this"?
Yeah,
because he looks creepy. He is creepy.
Invisible hairline.
And my hairline is back here, but his is like back.
Right, his is like
running away from
his neck.
Like his own hairline is running from him. So that should tell you that something right. And I told you, this is the kind of person who he goes and he kills squirrels and he take the eyelids, put them in a bag and keep them under his basement. Like this is that person.
Yep.
So I'm like, what in the world did this girl walk up and say, Stephen Miller is the one I want? And to have
I'm wondering myself. I'm wondering how that came together. Wasn't she Pence's PA or something like that?
Now I know she's a horrible person too, so like attracts like, but still.
Well, all of them are horrible. All of them are horrible, and sometimes the most horrible people are the ones that are at least true to the game. They're not trying to hide and pretend it's something else. But I'm sure
he's the devil booty child is what I could. I reported him out his booty, and that's how he got born.
Do you all remember when he had an interview and he had sprayed him on some hair or something? And the news people couldn't even report the news. Say, what the fuck is going on with that? With that hairline? Oh my God! You remember that?
I remember.
You don't remember?
I do. Because what happened was, instead of his hairline being back here, it was like right around here. And I remember because the interviewer couldn't keep a straight face. He was trying to ask a question. He was like.
The guy was stunned looking at his head like, what the fuck have you got going on up there, boy?
Your head got blackface on.
You see? And it was kind of pointed. Oh my God. The people on every news station was just cracking up. They couldn't even talk about the story for talking about his hairdo. Or lack thereof. I've always felt that Stephen Miller is a self-loathing, dedicated bottom. And anybody that is in the life knows what I'm talking about. That he can't stand and look at his ass in the mirror and he can't be who he really wants to be. So he's trying to have I'm sure they do. And I think
read on it once before. They got some group sessions.
And the group sessions. What you got, girl?
2 chakra. Duh, dumbass. These are chakra fucking cards. Let's try this again. 2 solar plexus chakra in the heart chakra. And I'm just going to tell you, the heart chakra says love. This motherfucker just needs love. Needs to learn how to love. Needs to learn to activate the entire, normally I hate it when people say a chakra is blocked because it's not really blocked. It's just over charged or undercharged. This motherfucker doesn't even have one. It's like in the bowels of hell. And he's got to try to find it with his soul.
Jason, can you change the layout so that it's bigger?
I'm sure. Which way? How? I'm trying to. I wished I knew how to do it.
At the bottom, I don't know. I don't remember what it looks like on the phone.
I know. I don't either.
Well, it has an end button to end the broadcast, and then on the more button it says post comment layout. Should I touch that?
Touch layout.
And do you see like one that's what's 2 at the top and 1 on the bottom or something like that?
Yeah, when I did layout, it was 1 on the side and 2 on the. You and Adrian are positioned in a certain way. What should I do?
Just start touching and see. Let's see what we can get.
And then we'll tell you to stop. Nope. Try again. Yeah. Well,
that's
almost. It. Yeah.
That's
that
it.
Would be computer cards better.
All righty then. All righty then. See, I'm learning something new every day.
Is that better, Johnie?
Yes.
So
Jen Lynn says it's Stephen Miller is a perfect conversation on Halloween.
It absolutely is. Personal power too with his solar plexus chakra. He has overexerted his personal power, and it has fucked him up so very much that right now he also needs to get his soul healing. Nope, that's not the card I wanted. Soul healing, another solar plexus chakra. The soul healing card is all about doing your life's mission, your soul contract, and not doing what you want. So basically, like, he needs to stop being an asshole, but it's impossible because I don't think he's in tune enough to stop being a horse's dick. So he was as big as a horse's dick.
A green one with flies circling around it. A green horse's dick. Shit, infected.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So he's probably flying around. He's out of the bat cave, and he's, Lord. Anyway, God, we pray. I would say I'm praying for you, but that would be a lie.
Yeah.
I'm not praying prayers of redemption or anything for any of them because, anybody that would rip a child from he was joyful when they ripped the babies from the arms of those people coming in.
Yep.
So you know what, Johnie, what you're saying, it could be right. Karma's a bitch, as you say, and she knows where you live. Yep. Something could come here. His baby could have some issues. You just never know how spirit is going to do it. So now we're going to go on to, let's see, the reptile. We already know. We've talked about Stephen Miller. Where we got the Wicked Witch of the West on the court. We knew she was going to get appointed.
Unfortunately, yep.
Yeah, well, I just in my gut feel like there's the money transaction. Something happened there, because she should never have stayed she should never have been part of Trump's rally, his White House rally, with her there celebrating her on the bench. And then they had the bullfrog, Thomas the Butler. What is the name? Clarence the Butler Thomas, looking like a bulldog, long dong silver. He's there swearing in. Roberts couldn't even bring himself to go there and do it. Mm-hmm. He sent the Negro. Mm-hmm. So,
well, that's it. That to me, that speaks volumes. Robert's
me
like,
too.
I'm not touching this with a 10.5-foot pole.
That's right.
Roberts, you wanted, that's your girl. You wanted her so bad.
Yep. Because she's going to drag down the reputation. And baby, I'm going to tell you something. She tries to go, the women are very, very angry about this. Many women are angry about this. These states trying to pass these heinous laws. In Georgia, companies who don't want to give women birth control, that, want to decide for somebody that... Where are you when a child is abused or killed by parents that don't want it? Where are you? Are you fostering kids? Now, she got herself 2 little black Haitian cheering. I'm always nervous about her, though. There's something about this bitch that ain't smelling right. Something wrong with her. And I keep
And see,
hoping.
that's usual because one of my neighbors, and Stephen Haggard is actually in here. He said it because she has a sign in her yard that says "Women for Trump." He says, "Ignore it; it's just graffiti." So I keep that running in my head.
Yeah.
But the one issue that keeps women for Trump is abortion. Because it is not him. I'm sure he's paid for 800 million abortions.
Oh, you know he has.
But he has the R at the end of his name with the Republicans. So therefore, that's their candidate because, Democrats kill babies. And so I'm just like, okay, you
late term babies, that's stupid.
Who say that we're takers and we shouldn't be on Medicare and Medicaid, even though that's something children need, especially if they're born to low income families.
Right.
So take that away and tell me that's not killing somebody's baby. Take away the food stamps the way they can't eat and they're malnourished and then they die from malnourishment.
Right.
And tell me that's not killing somebody. Killing somebody's baby who's already here, mind you. So again, it's not really pro-life, it's just pro-birth. We just want you to have the baby and then you're on your own.
You're on your own. Yeah.
So that's their main issue.
You become a burden to the system if you need food stamp, if you need help. Now you're a burden to the system. And they're really not pro-life. They are anti-abortion.
That's it.
If you are pro-life, you would never I'm just saying, how can you be pro-life and be all right with 545 children not knowing where their children? How could you be all right with Jeff Sessions and Rod Rosenstein's punk ass saying, take the babies away. We don't care how young they are. Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump stood up at that debate and said they were well cared for. The facilities were clean. I thought, Lord, if you truly do send down bolts of lightning, now would be a good time. Just give them a zinger. Shit.
Mm-hmm. And then Mike Pence walking his walking dead ass in there and looking at the facility and walked out with his good Christian heart and didn't say nothing.
Right. No, is everything okay? Motherfucker, look at this place. What? No, it ain't okay. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. And I just know. With those of us that are people that I have read the Bible, when Jesus said, when you have done this to the least of them, the babies, the children, suffer the little children to come unto me. When you have done this to a child, you have done it to me. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes, especially Mike Pence. You're right. He's just a zombie, closeted. He's on the DL. He and Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson sucks and swallows, and I ain't taking it back. Look at his mouth the next time. All right, let's move it right along. Now
I thought we were gonna do crazy stories, Jace.
Well, we are. We getting ready to do. Well, after I get through with my political rant, I gotta go there. I want to talk about Lil Wayne. I want to talk about Ice Cube, and I want to talk about Diddy and Fitty. Okay. These Negroes. Oh, while I was phone banking, some woman told me she wanted to, the choices of Trump, Biden, Joe Jurgensen, who's a libertarian or undecided. She said she wanted Kanye West. And I said, well, fortunately, Mr. West's name is not in the game. So, maybe you need to go to a state where his name
maybe
is. But
medication. That's what she need to do.
That's what she need to do. But we're gonna do some fun stuff, Adrian. This is fun to me.
No. That was in response to her wanting to vote for Kanye.
Yeah, I want y'all to take a look at these brothers. They, as far as I'm concerned, they don't never need to say another word. I'm never buying another record. I had more respect for Cube. I just never expected him to do no shit like this. And then try to walk it back and say he's not endorsing Trump, and then try to say that the Democrats wanted him to wait till after He made it sound like they blew him off until Representative Cedric, I think his name is Cedric Robinson. He's a handsome man from Louisiana. Said that's not what happened.
He went on record and was like, no. And it didn't.
No.
Wasn't he the one who was like number one? Then number two. Then number three.
Right.
Number five.
Yes. And he read them and he said, I think it's great they want to get involved, but in this particular situation.
Because Ice Cube said that he expected to talk to both camps. Now here's my thing. Talk to Donald Trump. Fine. Okay, let me be the Gemini brain, try to make both sides make sense.
Okay.
Donald Trump is in charge. Therefore, if anybody in charge comes to you and says, let me help with the Black agenda, what can we do? Fine. Send him something, email, text, smoke signal, whatever. But you don't need to go have a photo op with him because that's what this is. So go send him something and say, this is what you can do to help the Black community. Here are the areas that we need to discuss, whatever, so forth, so forth. However, Ice Cube, Ice T, Ice Popsicle, whoever should already know Donald Trump don't care one lick about Black people.
That's right.
He don't even care about white people. He just care about money.
That's
and
it.
Whoever got it, he will talk to you. Otherwise, he that's it. He don't care about poor white people. He don't care about Black people, period. So my thing is, you should know that he is setting you up. You should know that he is trying to hook and bait you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, you said you want to talk to both camps. Biden don't want to talk to you because he's not president. Yep. There is a rule that Trump did not follow, but there is a rule, one president at a time. So I can't do nothing for you. I can't promise you nothing either because I don't have the platform to do so. So if you talk to me after the election, because we all know I'm gonna win because this is just the way the world turns. Yeah, I'm gonna win, and then you can come talk to me, and then we can talk about what.
And we can work it out.
Now, mind you, also let me take it here for 2-3 seconds. Ice Cube got more money than he can spend in his life. Whatever is on this agenda that you passed to Donald Trump, why don't you start enacting it yourself?
That's hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Go ahead. That's what you were saying earlier. You were like, why not partner with oh my God, it just
with LeBron or go to Killer Mike. Go to somebody who's actually doing something.
Killer Mike started a bank, LeBron started a school, Ice Cube started a hashtag.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And if you were going to do something, you had all this time to do it. This is what is infuriating to me. Now y'all want to do something. And I don't often listen to Tariq Nasheed, but he broke down Trump's platinum plan line by line. I got to give it to the brother. And it's full of speed bumps and traps. And it's not going to happen. And my thing is, if the Republicans, the white Southerners Republicans are turning on his ass, y'all need to pay attention. Fitty was at least honest, saying, I don't want my taxes to go up.
But then also I'm like, Fitty, didn't you just claim bankruptcy? Ain't your ass poorer than an art student who just graduated? Like,
he's following in Donald Trump's steps. He's gonna declare bankruptcy 9,000 times.
You don't even have $100,000 to be in that tax bracket that's going to be taxed higher. If you don't shut the hell up, go sit
Shut
there.
up, boy.
And
You gonna tell on yourself.
That quiet part out loud syndrome too.
Yeah.
Like, I understand you don't want your taxes to go up. However, you can afford for your taxes to go up.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
you
in
can.
the interest of fairness, for lack of a better word, pay more. That way people like me can pay less.
Yeah.
Yes.
You make, $70 million a year. I make 12,000. So it's like,
Yeah, right.
you can pay more than I can. So why don't you pay more? That way I pay less.
Yep.
But then again, you would have to, take the greed out of people, and that's a whole different
Well,
thing.
if Bill Gates and Warren Buffett say, yeah, tax me, Do you know if that 1% were to pay their taxes, there wouldn't be too many deficits. There'd be more money in our system if they paid their share of taxes. I've worked in law firms. There was no such thing as a tax attorney until the very wealthy came around. And what they do is they know all of this tax law so that
they can help you get out.
Instead of you getting fined 15, 20, 30, 50 million dollars, well, we got you off of 20. You know, it's crazy. Well, now.
Wait a minute. Let me say this too.
Go ahead, John.
First of all, Ice Cube, fuck you and anybody that look like you, because you and your 3-on-3 basketball place took money from Steve Bannon.
Really?
Yes.
I forgot about that, Johnie.
I did.
And secondly, that's how you know Donald Trump, I suppose.
Right.
And Bannon probably told me he's a fool. He'll go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you need money from Steve Bannon? You know Snoop Dogg, you know Jay-Z, you know all the rappers from the NWA, you know Pookie and them in the hood that sell something on the corner that we ain't supposed to. You know some people that got some money that could have invested in your little project.
Yeah.
But what Steve Bannon money got to do with the black man owning a basketball league?
Yep.
I've forgotten about that. I remember reading about that and I was baffled.
I've forgotten all about that, Johnie. I'm so glad you.
Steve Bannon money?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, as Adrian said, he's dead to me. Forget all they black asses, okay? And Lil Wayne standing up there posing, looking like his little little puppy.
You call one of them a big old black cockroach. What'd you say? A pickaninny? You called one of them something that made me almost run off the damn road earlier today. Was
this little fucking jigaboo doll, stand up there with that fucked up hair. His hair.
He just looked real itchy, like he needs some good.
Like he need to shave that shit off his head,
His face. And why you tattoos on the face? Please stop doing that.
Yeah, stop it.
Good. When you go into prison, you got to get deloused.
But it's like African Americans, first of all. I mean, get all the tattoos you want to get, but understand the darker you are, the worse they look. They just look like scars after a while. And then he said he don't like Black Lives Matter because his Black Lives Matter to him, and that's it.
Oh, well, then you are more than a jackass, okay?
He said all he cares about is his life, his bitches, his money.
Yeah, that's it.
And how do you think how do they think they got their money in the first place? It was America's money. It was black ass people's money that gave you that life. And now you want to talk about, oh Lord have mercy.
Take a deep breath, Jace. Take a deep breath.
Where they mamas at?
Ooh, my husband was out campaigning with Joe Biden today.
I know. I miss him so much.
I miss him too, girl.
And
I must have been deaf, dumb, and blind because he was in Hawaii for a moment when I was there. I'm thinking, how did I miss that? Well, now on to some ridiculous news. We've been talking about assholes. Did you?
I can't wait for what's going to come out of your mouth next. That was a hell of a primer.
I read this story about fossilized butthole answers long-standing questions about dinosaur sex life. Now, did you know that there was...
Come back. Who is this fossilized boy? Give me an actual...
Fossilized butthole. I'm telling you what they...
I'm hot. I can't.
There are dinosaur genital experts. See, there's a gig for everybody.
Wait, what?
Dinosaur genital experts. They live. They study the genitalia of dinosaurs, and they found a fossilized butthole, and they said that it's called a cloaca, and this and the cloaca, it says, think of something like a Swiss Army knife. orifices because they could lay eggs with it, they could excrete with it, they could mate with it as well.
So here's my problem. This this is my fault. Okay. Because I'm very petty. I'm actually very proud of that though.
Yes, well, hey,
this is the closet. This closet over here. I got a cape in there so I can be super petty.
No, that's right, Johnny.
So me and my brother have this thing where we see random people and we make up names for them, you know. And so I, honest to God, thought when you said fossilized booty hole, you was talking to somebody and you just gave them a nickname.
No, that's what
that's
what they
I thought that was your new Mike Pence name or something.
A fossilized booty hole, a fossilized, and think somebody is paid to do that shit.
Oh,
now that's an old booty hole. We know that.
What kind of certifications do you have to do that job? Let me Google this shit real quick. Dinosaur booty hole.
Expert, they're called genital experts. Dinosaur genital experts is like, this person has no friends because he's had no sex, he's had nothing.
If you think about all of the different things on our body that people specialize in, first, why do you want to be a dentist? Why do you want to be in people's mouth? Why do you want to be OBGYN?
I'm about to say a gynecologist.
You know, an ophthalmologist. Why do you want to be anything that has to go in
your booty?
Yeah,
an oncologist
in somebody's something.
Yeah.
Specific.
Well, there's usually something very.
Okay, I can understand why you might know something about everything, but
so I just looked up the education. First, you go to theology, so you get your undergrad in theology, you get a master's in anthropology, and then you get a PhD in paleontology. I just looked that up.
All right,
okay.
Chief One Lungs.
Like you specialized in animal genitals or something.
Chief One Lungs says
some of them were also medical doctors on top of being PhDs.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Chief One Lungs says,
you know, how the foot bones connected to the knee bone.
Bitch, really?
Yeah. Chief One Lungs says a fossilized booty hole would be a real good name for Mitch McConnell. Yes. Speaking of Mitch,
that's a good one. Can we talk about, seriously though, why this motherfucker is rotting and nobody has said a fucking word?
Let me tell you something. That bitch been putting arsenic in his shit for 1,000 years, and it's just not. She been slowly poisoning. She been slowly poisoning that ass, and you know.
He said he's okay, but when you
no, he's not. He's not. The worst thing that could happen. The worst thing, we're gonna have to throw some cards on him. The worst thing that happened to Mitch McConnell is he woke up and was a black man. But what I want to happen is his dusty, dry up balls and his dick, when he goes to the bathroom, he looks down, it's black, and as he flushes, he sees it going down the toilet. So he ain't got nothing to work with.
Are literally rotting.
Rotting. Necrotizing. Yes.
His hands, God, heaven forbids what's going down from the wrist up that we can't fucking see that's hidden behind a jacket. This motherfucker, nobody is saying anything. But I'm like, this motherfucker is dying. He's sick. Something's wrong.
Something is wrong. And what I said was very mean. However, you know, he's been a very naughty boy. He's been very mean. He's been very crooked. He's been very dirty. And I won't forget the way they treated President Obama when he was in office. I will not forget it. So if he's rotting, oh, well, that's what is happening from the inside out. Throw some cards on Mitch and Elaine Chao. I'm convinced she done got some Chinese herbs from somewhere and say, here, Mitch, you need soup. eat soup. Good for you.
This is messed up. This is messed up. All of this is messed up, which is probably going up.
It's got it.
Somebody had something to where I forget what the condition was called, but it's like basically if the blood vessels burst and your hand filled with blood, that's what they're saying that it looked like. Mm-hmm. But I have seen a person, now she was African American though, so it didn't look, but it was the rest of her was one color and this was another color and she couldn't move it. So this was basically dead. It was
dying. It was dying.
Was like this. She couldn't move it at all. And so that's what his hand looked like. It looked like hers. And hers was dead, basically. It had no blood in it, had no nothing. And I'm just,
Johnny, y'all throw some cards on him, because
it's like a general or.
I want to know what's up with Mitch. What is up with that? Because I think I was saying it could be blood thinners, but I don't know. That's
Sunday, and what I got was something in the lower half is bothering the top half. So it's like if he's got a circulation problem, he's got a filtering organ problem. So we're talking
liver,
something like
liver.
That.
Yeah,
I think he's just messed up.
Well, then you know what? Evil, baby. It'll get you every time. Evil works from the inside out.
I can't even pretend like I give a shit that he's not.
I know, Johnny.
That's why, Johnny, where I had to forgive myself because I'm like, you're a human. It's okay. I got really mad Monday when they did that whole White House. Amy Coney Barrett is sitting up there. And I had this moment where I went off on Mitch McConnell because I was just like, I hate him. Drop dead. I went back to our 2 petty parties ago where you went on that 10-minute tirade about Mitch McConnell. And that made me feel a little bit better.
Because my thing is, I think it's maybe something to do with, I don't know if it's a past life. I don't know what it is exactly, but I can't even look at his face. Like it bothers me.
Yeah.
His energy, something in him, just
bothers me too.
I can't explain it. It's like it's something weird coming at me. So I have to scroll, and I can't even see.
I feel the same way. I can't look at him. Because I see some, and I'm telling you, y'all need to look at Elaine Child. That bitch is she's in trouble and she's trying to get out of the state. She's going to kill Mitch.
Every time we do a reading on Mitch McConnell, a woman comes up. Every time.
It's his fucking wife. He didn't fall down and she pushed his ass down them damn stairs. She said, bitch, you going to do what I say do. Mitch, you going to do what I say. What?
He always, this is the 3rd time I pulled Kipper, the despair card, and a thief keeps coming up, which is very obvious. And so does the message of concern.
Well, I think he's got an unhappy home life. I mean, I don't think he's at all happy at home.
Let me do Elaine Chow. Let me take
this
interview.
I'll look at him with these cards and see what it is.
What deck are you using? I actually have my Rider Waite here, but
these are fortune telling cards.
Okay, because I have to use my hold my phone with one hand.
All right, you hold. We've had enough technical difficulties. We finally got
yes.
Good. Sound good.
The storm came through and blew down the damn trees. I mean, there's a terrible storm that came through here and really did a lot of damage. There were about 1 million people in Atlanta without power for a while. And of course, these people here got the $2.50 cable man. They got JoJo's daddy's cousin, Lud, to come in and do the cable. They don't want to pay Comcast the proper price to do those shit. So they got somebody cousin.
Oh, Jen, I'm not using that deck. That was a mess.
Okay, here's what I think is funny. Here's what I think is very interesting. Different positions, almost same goddamn cards. She's got, so the main female, she's at the center this time. House, again, fucking message of concern again. That's the future. But for her, the coffin is at the crown. Versus Mitch McConnell's, the coffin was in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Wait, shit. I fucked the order up. What's this?
His dick is gonna turn black. I'm telling you, he's gonna be trying to pee and it's just gonna fall off.
This, whatever this is, they're not seeing. They've gotten a message. I think they either know the gig is up, or someone come after them, and it is going to screw up not just politically, but it's going to hurt them more
financially.
Home, something. It's going to tear their home life apart.
Yeah, and they know it's coming.
There's a message for both of them. Both of them have a message that has already been delivered. It's not a message in the future. It's not a message.
Okay.
At the base. Both of them, the message of concern is at the base. What'd you get, Johnie?
I got a bunch of conspiracy theories. So
okay. Oh, I love them.
I love conspiracy theories.
Proceed. I'm ready.
So he does have a ship on the horizon. This is more than likely business. So, you know, something shady, I'm pretty sure.
Of course.
Stealing in the name of the Lord, as they say. However, wolf in caduceus means that there is somebody actively destructing his health. Either it's him or it's somebody around him. This is health. This is an enemy. This is also a known enemy. Like this is a person that is not necessarily for you, and something in you does it. This, the talisman,
death on the bottom of the deck,
is something physical, like charms or runes or whatever, something you could hold, like a tarot card. And whatever it is, it brings doom. So it might be some sort of what are they called? I did one once before, but it's basically like a rune, but it's called something else. You can draw it under somebody's bed and give them nightmares. And
I know what you're speaking
there's
of.
Something physical within his person or within his house or within his whatever that is bringing him bad luck or that is bringing him something nasty.
Elaine Chow.
He does not have any good luck because he is also cut off from spirit. He lies about his religion.
He's what? He's cut off what?
Cut off from his religion, cut off from his source, cut off from...
Okay.
And then here in the end, Chimera and Green Man, there's something wrong in his body. Like it is something severely wrong. There's something in there that shouldn't be, and it's more than likely in his blood, or like I said, his filter and organs. Green Man would... this would be the support. This is people. This is something that is supposed to be good for you. And then the Chimera is something that does not belong. Right. And so he's got something within his house, within himself, within a whole bunch of stuff that's bringing him down, like physically.
Yeah, physically.
It's not age.
As I was touching the cards, the card on the bottom was the death card. You know, I know that sometimes death means, it doesn't mean like literal death. It could be the renewing of things. It could be the death of something old that isn't serving you any longer. But I don't know. Somehow I see literal death. I don't know.
It could be.
Yeah. Oh, well, you know, they needed to take some hair clippings and some fingernail clippings and analyze that shit for arsenic. I'm telling you, that bitch, she's wicked. Them Chinese got some shit for your ass.
Which I think is funny too, is that he's been trying to get to the light. He's probably been dreaming about it too. What about y'all? I'm a broken record. When you've got a deficiency in your solar plexus, you're going to have that deficiency in your third eye. He's been trying to get to the light. He's been trying to, it's a huge ass reach to say he's trying to do better, be better. That's not what it is. I'm wondering, he probably is really fucking sick and he's trying to make smaller changes thinking it's going to get him good with God because he's so apparent.
Like Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, it's
him.
Elaine's chakra cards are so fucked up. I don't even want to. I can't even.
Yeah, you can't. Her chakra cards are all messed up, girl. I'm telling you that chick. You can look at her face and you know who's running that household, and it ain't him. He and Limbaugh don't understand that hatred, anger, frustration, lies, all of these negative, the negative shit you say, the negative things you do weakens your blood. It toxifies your blood and weakens your cells. All of that happens to your body when you're operating in that. So, I would love to say, you know what, Mitch, I feel badly for you, but you said one of the proudest moments in your life was when you told President Obama that he wouldn't be seating a Supreme Court judge. So now we have a bunch of Supreme Court judges who are not qualified, who the ABA has said are not qualified. How can you be a judge and never gone into court, never tried a case? You don't even know basic law 101. And every last one of these judges are white. There's no color in these federal positions. And now we have the one that's supposed to come in to do Trump's bidding, to kill everything. And I think, I just feel in my gut there's something that we're going to find out about this Amy Coney Barrett. Something. She did some illegal shit. She did something that ain't right, and we're gonna find out about it. And the people's on the court gonna say, soul sister, people already don't believe in it. They already questioning our asses. You might have to go, sis. You might have to pack your bags and go. All right, now. We've gone through fossilized booty holes.
Oh, so we will talk about dinosaur anuses.
Dinosaur sex. That's interesting. A dinosaur sex.
Speaking of booty holes, can I bring up a topic?
Yeah, you can bring up another booty
hole.
hole.
To you, but it goes into a bit of a deeper conversation.
Okay.
Sort of. Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett. Here we
go.
For those who don't know who he is.
Oh, poor Jussie.
On a television show called Empire?
Empire.
And he said through his reign in the show that he was attacked by a group of white guys. I think it was a couple of white guys wearing MAGA hats. They poured bleach on him. They put a noose on his neck, the whole bit. He had one little scratch right here. He said he had bruised and broken ribs, right? And so at the moment I heard the story, because somebody sent it and said, can you do a reading on this? I had no idea who he was. And I'm like, Jussie, who names their child Jussie, first of all? But anyway, and so I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, he was not attacked. And so I did the reading. I used 4 different decks just in case I had too much bias, and they all came out the same way. He was not attacked. And so fast forward, he's basically ruined his name, lost his career. But he's directing his first movie. Now.
What? Who gave him a contract to do any damn thing with his lying ass?
So my thing is, his reputation is already crap. So is anybody going to go watch his movie? But the deeper conversation is, when is it enough time to be forgiven? Do you always have to be chained to the mistake you made, even if it's a large one like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, let's look at it this way. I believe that sometimes people make we know it's not even a belief. A person can make a mistake that's so heinous that in their lives, they spend the rest of their lives being defined by that mistake, so that no matter what they do, that mistake is going to always pop up. For instance, that men who go to prison pay their debt to society. Those brothers who want to be able to vote, the brothers that Michael Bloomberg said, I will pay their fines, their debt, whatever they owe, I will pay so that they can vote. So in Florida, you can't say anything about them willing to vote. In this country, when a black man comes out of prison, he's done his time, he's done the right thing, he might have even gotten an education, gone on to try to do some good things, they are forever paying, forever, for the rest of their days. So with Jussie, I was skeptical when I heard that story, because first of all, I don't look at him and see no Mike Tyson in him at all. You know what I'm saying? Has nothing to do with him being a gay man. I just don't see how somebody could have done that to him, and you run in and you have a noose loosely around your neck. I mean, you know, somebody trying to hang your ass, it's going to be rope burn or something. I was skeptical of the story because it just began to trigger thoughts like something isn't quite adding up. I think he deserves another chance, and he's obviously got somebody who's going to help him so he can redeem himself. But that particular hoax got two other guys, I mean, his accomplices. It was awful. The whole community, black people were ready to go to bat for him. You know, they were ready to go out and defend him. Oh, he had a noose around his neck and he looking all pitiful in the hospital. Don't mess up my face, man. My face is my moneymaker.
But you believe he deserves a second chance?
I believe everybody deserves a second chance.
What you think, Adrian?
I think to that extent, everybody does, because Lord knows what egregious mistakes I may make. Now that was a purposeful, very stupid, because here's why I'm on the fence. As a human being, I believe everybody deserves a second chance. Here's my problem, particularly with Jussie in this situation. Not only did you try to garner sympathy, you hurt a lot of communities. First of all,
you did.
Now there was some second looking at the LGBTQIA, which is a community that I support. These are my friends and family. You also tarnished black men. And I'm not going to defend Trumpsters by any stretch of the imagination, but you also used them and vilified them in a way that, because here's the problem. Your lie was so big. Your story was so big. Now anybody else who actually for a while who got hurt by somebody who was a klutz, a Trumpster, whatever,
right.
put them sideways. So yes, while I believe everybody deserves redemption, you have to fucking earn it.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I agree with you, Adrian. That is,
and say this motherfucker deserves a second chance. Quite frankly, other than him bitching, moaning, and griping, still trying to hold that this is true and it really happened, motherfucker, what have you done? Did you donate money to LGBTQIA children?
Yeah.
Sources? Have you partnered with the NAACP? Have you apologized and said, hey, look, Republicans, sorry about that. What have you done? What have you done to earn me forgiving you?
And to think that he did all of it because he felt like he wasn't getting paid enough on Empire? All for the name of dough, money?
What do you think, Johnie?
We'll see. What do you think, Johnie?
While yes, everybody deserves a second chance. 3 and 4, 10. If you get knocked down 79, you can get up 79. However, that is nebulous. That is godly thinking. I am still human on a human being's earth. I would not, because I am not a person who can separate art from artist. Not that I even knew who he was in the first place, but when you do some shady crap, that's what sticks in my mind, is you were that person that did that. Especially in his case, because he is still to this day carrying that was true.
Yep.
And what about those brothers, those two cats who thought they were going to get a part in the movies, you know?
They
got paid and they went along with it. They grown, they knew right from wrong, they did it. So I can't say that they're they're innocent in this because they helped him do this.
They're already
They did.
You guys, they've already time served. They're done. They're already back in society.
And my
They
thing
are.
is, he at this point is still not repentive of he could have caused some major crap. People could have went out like they do with police. They go and they target police because somebody died in a whole different state at the hands of police.
Right.
And they could have been targeting people with MAGA hats because he said MAGA hat people attacked. Like this is not the thing that you make up.
Nope.
No, it isn't.
Because I kept looking at him and he's I'm not going to let this bring me down. He did a concert. Tell me what person does a concert with broken ribs. You can't even breathe.
Right. You can't breathe with broken ribs.
And I'm the gay Tupac. And I'm like, so
boy, sit your ass down.
The more and more he talked, the more and more, I guess the less and less sympathy I had for him going forward. Like if your career's done, it should be because you just screwed it up.
So I have an add-on question to this. Because I think this is going to go into another heavy topic. Does he suffer from mental illness in your eyes?
No. I don't think he's mentally ill. I think he was very cunning. I think he was crafty in that, you know. He planned that.
I think he has a little mental illness.
You do?
Yeah, for him to still not back down, there's sociopathic behavior.
Yeah.
There's also some narcissism, and those are technically mental illnesses.
Oh, okay.
He does. I think
he just can't admit to the whole world he just lied to.
Yeah.
He can't do the Milli Vanilli until 15 years later and say, "Hey, I actually made all that up." Mm-hmm. And then it's kind of like, duh.
Well, Millie,
poor Milli Vanilli, those guys' lives were destroyed by Clive Davis.
They had promises made and they just got caught up in the mix.
Here's another singer news I got for you too.
Okay.
What's that?
So R. Kelly apparently got beat up in jail and nobody did nothing.
Who?
R. Kelly. No,
R. Kelly
beat up. He got that ass tapped.
He got that ass beat.
They beat his whole ass.
So he didn't want to be in solitary because solitary is solitude.
That's it.
But he got in General Public and they whipped his behind. So I'm thinking, does anybody need to say anything? Because I mean, you kind of violated people's. And what kind of person let their child out the presence for days at a time, let alone months and weeks at a time to go?
All of that. To me, the parents had as much to do with it because you knew this man's reputation. It wasn't a big secret with him and Aaliyah. That wasn't no big secret.
She was 15, 16?
He was 15. They knew all about that. These are parents who were thinking that their daughters were going to get wealthy on their talent because, everybody can sing now. And he was showing some interest and they're thinking they were probably out car shopping and house shopping and dreaming and thinking about what they were going to be able to. Look, the parents had something to do with that. There was,
of course, greed.
Yeah, those girls.
They wanted.
Then they got in. I mean, he's been a pedophile for a long time.
I watched a PP tape because I was in college and we were like, one night, go to somebody's dorm. And we were like, that's piss. He peed on her. And ever since then, we all canceled him at that point. That was 2000.
Yeah, right. It's like, I don't give a shit how great a writer he is. I don't want to know about it. And every time I think about the PP tape, I think about Dave Chappelle's sketch, I Want to Piss on You. Did you ever watch him do his sketch on the Chappelle show?
I have a question, and I don't mean to be ugly. I need somebody to explain this to me. It is well known that R. Kelly is borderline illiterate. He cannot read or write well.
Right.
How do you write music? How do you write songs when you can't read or write well?
You said this is. I think this is how it happened. You sit at the computer, which is the thing, but that makes the noise, the piano, and you sing. and that's how they come up with the lyrics and you know, because they come up with the music and the
Yeah.
I'll let it go. That's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
because they robbed him blind. And can you be okay?
Go ahead.
Put his actions aside. Is it possible to be sympathetic to his business?
Sympathetic
Because
his
he
what?
couldn't read his contracts. Therefore, all the music that he wrote does not belong to him. It belongs to somebody else because they wrote it in there and he never read it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't read it because you say you can't read, do you have some sort of sympathy for that? Or
no, that's why you hire an attorney. If you got all that money, you hire an attorney, and you're
Right.
Now he had an attorney. His attorney was in with the record label, though. The record label wanted the music. The attorney said, "Oh, well, he can't read. He's paying you. Okay, that's fine." Like,
I don't know. I don't know. He might have been all of those things, but he also liked young girls.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And see,
like
can you separate art from artists and listen to his music still?
Mm-mm.
I don't listen to his music anymore. And I used to like R. Kelly.
20 years.
He said, ain't nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. I used to dig that tune, you know.
Although sometimes I do find myself walking through the house going, your body is my playground.
See, I think the most I ever liked was
I believe I can fly.
And then Yolanda Adams recorded it, so now I just listen to hers.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, he had wonderful talent that way, but however, you know, it's hard to wrap your head around. Even though that has gone on in cultures like in Iran and Afghanistan and all these, they look for these little. They figure a girl gets to be 12. And she's old enough to make decisions. I watch these documentaries all the time about.
We've got Christian cults in the United States.
That's right.
Let's talk
about Mother Mary. Wasn't she 14?
And let's talk about the NVI XMLOP dude who just got
right. 120 years
touching little babies' booty holes. But we don't want to get serious about this shit tonight. We don't want to talk about what's real in these streets tonight. Okay.
Right. All right. You right, sister. You right, because I just read the headline. I said 120 years,
which is nothing. But yet, didn't we just last week talk about that black man who stole that hoe, who got a whole goddamn life sentence?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Garden tools.
But y'all want to talk about we're fair and equitable in these United States.
In these United States of America.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Oh, let's have a little moment for Sean Connery.
I know.
Oh, you know, I thought that was a fine mother.
I
liked him as an old man. Girl, I didn't care about no James Bond. I liked him when he got big and got some silver in his hair. I love the movie Extraordinary Gentleman.
Suave ass mother. And when he would talk, I would just sit.
Oh yes. I remember here in Atlanta, Monica Kaufman interviewed him and she was beside herself and he looked at her and he said, let's get a motel room. I thought, yes. Here's to you, Sean. You gave us a lot of pleasure, Daddy.
You know, I have never in my entire life until today, until I seen the headline, even seen him. I don't even know. I still right now, I can't really even tell you what he looked like. Oh,
you would have. Well, he was one of the first James Bonds.
Silver Fox. He was in a whole bunch of shit.
He was, and then I saw him in something called Zardoz, some sort of. I don't even remember the plot of the movie, but it was some sort of space type thing. But I really loved him in the movie where he was part of the Untouchables, and I loved him in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where it was a sci-fi where he played Adam Quatermain, the African children. prayed over him and over that dirt. And even though they thought he was dead, his fist came up out of the ground at the end and said, yes, he lives. Yes.
Finding Forrester. I forgot about Finding Forrester. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was I just love to hear him speak. He was born in Edinburgh. You know, he had a Scottish brogue.
Yeah.
Good. And boy, I don't
talk. Just be like,
yeah, I just liked it. I just thought he was like, ooh, there's something sensual about older. Sometimes men, when they're young, they might be handsome, but there's something that when they start to get a little bit mellow or something, there's something about an older man.
I thought you were going to say something sensual about a man with an accent. I was like, yes, that's usually how it is.
Yes, a man with an accent too. I mean,
they're skinny and not on the attractive side, but if I hear an accent, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, you're so stupid. Yeah, accents. I like accents too. I really, really do.
Accent.
Well, now let's move on to something else. So this is, see, all the time we've been focused on that boy, Pumpkinhead. We didn't know that there were things going on in the world. There's just news that you don't hear in the headlines. Okay. I read a story about a young girl. She was, you know, getting ready to have sex and stuff. So she went to her mother and she asked her mother, what did she do for birth control? Now, this is in another culture. I want to say maybe in the Middle East somewhere. Her mother says that when she was having sex and excuse me, she didn't want to have a baby. She would cut half of a potato and put it in her vagina, and that prevented her from getting pregnant, I guess, except for the time she had the daughter. So the daughter cuts the half potato, she inserts it in herself, and she goes about her merry business. Then she started to have stomach cramps and all type of shit going wrong.
This Horton forgot to take the goddamn potato out. Have baked potato, coochie baked potatoes, and the rest.
Not a bitch. No, girl, a potato had like taken root and shit. It was
sprouting up in her vagina.
It was. She was getting.
Yeah.
Yes, she was. She was growing her own farm, girl. She went to the doctor. They looked up at it. What the fuck? Now, first of all, I don't know. How can a mother tell?
At least wasn't Idaho.
Oh my God!
Got mashed potatoes in her coochie.
You see, guys. Now, girl, she was a potato farm, honey. She was getting. Yeah. Oh, and I thought, first of all, this had to be some ancient. This had to be another culture shit, because I had never heard nobody put a potato in their puss. In the poussey to keep from having a baby.
I think here's the thing. Was it like one of the little red potatoes that she cut in half?
She did this. I know. I envisioned like a regular Idaho or Irish potato, or just cutting it.
Question: when dude was smashing, did he not keep hitting that potato and go? Wait a minute. When he pulled his dew dangler out, did he not have like potato chunks? I have so many questions, and I'm like, let's go down this rabbit hole together, shall we?
All right, girl.
And he couldn't hit the potato.
Because he was too short. That's the only way.
Or maybe
how did he gonna get it out? Jump up and down?
I don't know. I don't know. She obviously mother must have forgotten to give her an instruction, which is
oh God, you know what I just
take that.
mentioned? A fucking shoehorn. A shoehorn. Oh God.
Oh my God. Oh, I just can't imagine somebody putting a potato up their pussy to keep from having a baby. See, I just can't. Like they
heard of some wild
her mother missed a very important step, and that is take it out your ass sometimes. You don't leave it in there to take root and grow. Okay, you just don't.
Tell them don't shoot the club up. How about that? I mean, maybe this is not the time that back in the day where they were empowered to tell him
no
don't shit up, but I'm saying that's a good solution. That way you ain't got to be more educated.
I was thinking of all of the solutions. Why didn't she just tell him to pull the fuck out? That
this is another culture, okay? And I don't understand. I don't understand the ways of the culture. No. I don't like for instance, in Afghanistan, they have what they call the butcher boys. They're men who go out and pick up young boys who don't, they know they're hanging out because they want food. They're poor. They pick these men, these manly men, pick up these little boys. And they take them and they dress them up like women and teach them how to dance. And then the men go to their man club and they watch these boys dance like women. And the one with the most money takes the boy home and their wives know about it. And yet homosexuality is a sin or will get you killed, Anyway, yeah, girl. The potato child.
Your way, and you can have a pool boy and
I didn't mean to ruin potatoes for everybody. Because I love French fries. I haven't met a potato yet I didn't like.
In here,
but I promise you that it will not be going into the nether regions. My Mugu Gai Pan is not a place for a potato, okay?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
That was an amazing story. Thank you for that.
I screamed. I could not believe it.
Oh.
All right, let's go to another story.
It's hot. Like, I really am struggling right now because it's like, as the empath, my lower region is cramped up real bad. I'm trying to
I know what you mean. I'm
doing pelvic floor exercises right now to release the cooch, but it hurts.
But, okay, so the mama told it to her, which means
the mother,
her mama or her auntie or her somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah, somebody. This is a generation.
Remember, we always talk about the past like it got a limit. Let's go all the way back to the first person who said, I got
put a potato in your pussy.
My hip hurt, my twat hurt. I don't want no more kids. What can I do? Let me take this potato and cut it in half.
Because they were looking for what's the closest thing I can find, and they looked at the kitchen and said a goddamn potato.
You didn't go to the river and dish it out. You went into your pantry and got a potato.
A potato. It's a generational thing.
But what is the mentality that said this potato is gonna soak up all these sperms?
I have no idea.
It blocks the cervical entrance, so the sperm.
How they know that? They don't even know where the sun goes.
Because they tried it once, it worked, and it kept going. We know how to this point. The first time was an accident. The rest of the times it was a success story.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, so I apologize for those of you who love potatoes.
Strawberries.
What you got? You got.
I won't get pregnant either.
I needed this tonight. Thank you.
No,
I really,
you
needed this tonight.
You can put it up your fossilized booty hole or something. I don't know.
So this is a true story. So there's this documentary I watched years ago. It's about these young girls who were in like it was like a stand, like Afghanistan, but it was definitely a Muslim country. So what they would do was they would take these girls and throw them in prison for having premarital sex. And so how they knew they were having premarital sex, usually somebody would snitch and then they'd go and they'd do the exam to check the hymen and sure the hymen was broken. However, there was this one girl who was in prison and nobody could figure out. The doctors were like, well, your hymen is still intact. How are you in here? How she like, and everybody's like, no, she was having sex. She was having sex. And she was like, yeah, I was taking it up the ass. What do you
Yes. That's how women would remain virgins. They just did anal sex.
But she thought the whole premarital sex was breaking the hymen. So she was like, why am I in prison? I was taking it in the back door. I'm still a virgin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got all these men out here who had sex with them and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of potatoes and the puss.
Here it goes. This is
all right.
Tie-in to the next story.
Someone sent me a story about a pastor who peed on a woman on a flight. He peed on this woman on the airplane, claiming he thought she was the toilet. A pastor, an evangelical type cat who has this huge church, was flying. I think his church is in like Michigan or somewhere. And he was on the flight and he got up out of his seat. And this woman's just sitting in a seat, minding her own business. He pulls out his Johnson and pisses on her. And she's screaming. So the people come back and she said, he peed on me. And they said, well, sir, why you peed on her? He said, I thought she was the toilet. So now he first denied that he did it, except his urine was all over the woman and he had a wet spot in the front of his pants. Now he wants to sue the airlines for defamation in the way they treated him. They said that he was drunk and unruly or whatever. So I guess she was baptized by piss, huh?
You thought she was the toilet. You thought I was Mike Tyson because I'd have knocked you all the way out.
I would have him in his piss and dick. Okay?
He wouldn't have a Johnson right now.
Oh.
No.
And here's the unmitigated white privilege audacity that he's going to sue the airline for his misdeed.
Yeah, he's going to sue them because for defamation. I can actually get his name. He has a big church. It's called like Caught on Fire Ministries or some shit. I guess he used his hose to put that one out. But I'm thinking, how are you going to sue the airlines?
Chalmers, NC pastor.
Yeah.
Yes, Pastor Daniel Chalmers. Yes, North Carolina pastor. Pissed on the lady.
That'd have been his last day on earth right there.
Right then.
Dang.
Right then.
It was on
a full-blown black girl windmill right there on that plane. Where's my potato? Because guess what's about to happen?
Right now, I'm getting ready to kick some ass. Lord, I want to beat somebody's ass.
I am white.
Whew. And you gonna? How did he fix himself to sue the airline for defamation?
But it's just like the cop who killed Breonna Taylor. He's now suing her boyfriend for emotional distress and whatever. It's like this mindset is so fucking fascinating to me.
It is, but it's speaking of fossilized booty holes, Daniel Cameron is begging the grand jury to not let that testimony come through. The jurors said he never even gave them the charge of murder. He said that, and he's begging. See, with Mitch turning black and rotting on the inside out. He had his eyes on Mitch McConnell's Senate seat. I think Daddy's career, he just drove a stake through it because nobody trusts him anymore. He's been relegated to the coons. You just another coon, Daddy. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Anyway, let's see what's next. All right.
You pulled some cards out. What you reading?
What you reading on?
I just want to take a peek and see what's going on in his life right now.
Why he peed on it?
Why he peed on it?
Well, we know why he peed on it. That's something to talk about.
Because here's my thing. Let's say you are drunk. You are completely drunk and you are a pastoral and you completely drunk on this airplane. And you walking down the aisle of the airplane. What is it that you seen that made you stop and say, this
and is pee on this woman?
You didn't open the door?
I didn't open the door.
You didn't turn around and latch it closed?
I stopped right here and just started peeing.
We all know we've all been in most of us have been in an airplane toilet. When you walk in, that motherfucker's dark. When you when you turn around and flip that switch, the
light comes on. Yep.
What point did none of that happen that he go, wait a minute, I don't think I'm peeing in a lavatory.
He was sitting next to her. Okay. You didn't even move.
Oh.
And you thought you was in the bathroom?
No, I'm reading the story. He got up and walked, like Jason was saying, got up and walked down the aisle.
You know, he
pulled out his wang danger.
Thought she was a bathroom baby. And then he was drunk. They said he was like roasted.
You know, 18 sheets to the wind. I have been pretty pissy ass drunk in my day, but I
never missed the toilet. Okay.
Ooh. I mean,
I wonder how,
but never missed the toilet.
I wonder how a man can take out his pee-pee, his dick, and piss in a hole as big as the toilet hole is, and his shit all on the toilet. You can shoot a deer at 50 feet, but you can't aim in the toilet. I don't get it. Let's read on Chalmers. I guess his reputation back at the church house. Church children.
I want to see what
they're gonna call him in for counseling and shit. You know,
as soon as I saw them cards, I was like, oh, he about to ask.
Nice that said he was drunk. I'm gonna do the nice cards. Right?
Okay.
That said something that I want to verify with other beings first.
Okay. Let me tell you something. You don't want to get me started on evangelicals. I'm on a rampage right now.
Well, Johnny's doing that. I just heard something and I want to verify it for myself.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna do
a new beginning. Say I have two sons. They still can't aim right. Adrian, you gonna do some chakra stuff?
No, I'm pulling tarot because I had a question.
Oh, okay. You have a question, okay.
That I wanted to get confirmed.
Yeah.
Okay. So well, see, it's not always aim with a boy.
Okay. Explain it to me.
What's what is that? The urethra. There could be something else in there too that obstructs, and then the pee goes out that way.
What else would be in the urethra?
Usually,
lint or something.
Semen. Because so your bladder, your prostate is there, and if you strain, especially even if you say you're constipated, there could be semen that comes out because your colon
pushing.
And you're pushing, and it's not sperm, it's just the semen, because the semen comes from the prostate and the sperm comes from the testicle.
And
yeah.
Sometimes that's what it is, but boys just they don't aim to. But it's not always that. Sometimes
and I know that sometimes men.
That's why. Let me say this too. I know this is not very masculine, but that's why you should sit. It's better for your bladder anyway.
Yeah.
It is with your feet elevated for everybody when you
You
pee.
go overseas, like what is it, Japan? I think it is, and the toilet's in the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
Squat all the way because you're supposed to sit when you pee.
I got to answer to the question I wanted to know. I'm curious to see what Johnie got. I asked if he was an alcoholic and he's done something similar, not quite like waiting on a plane, but have a history of this type of drunken, egregious behavior. And I got a confirmation in a way, and that this has happened many, many times before. And that now that this is very public, that his congregation may be asking him to kind of sidestep, or there's not going to necessarily just be this, oh, we're going to hold you into counseling, because there's been too many stories and too many incidents.
Okay. So he's done this he's just a drunk. He's an alcoholic.
I heard alcoholic, and so I pulled, and I got a more detailed story. What did you get, Johnie?
He took pleasure in this.
Ooh, golden shower boy.
This is the card for the Knight of Wands is the card I get for sexual relations. And then I pulled the Milk and Honey, which is about pleasure. And then I pulled there's something in his spirit that is a lie. Here with the spider that's plotting, the chimera doesn't belong, and then the spirit, something in his spirit is a lie. So he's basically trying to cover himself now. I think he did this on purpose.
Ooh, really?
That's what I think. I'm gonna ask again.
Okay. I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit,
Johnie, because there's something repeating. So it's not necessarily that maybe he's not gotten drunk in public before. There's a sexual history. So yeah, that makes sense.
Oh gosh, let me see. Did he do this on purpose? Did he do this on purpose? Did he do this on purpose? Did he do this on purpose?
Did he do it on purpose?
I'm gonna pull 5 cards. I don't want too much detail. Let's try to be simple with it here. Queen of Pentacles. Maybe that's the woman.
The devil.
There's the devil. There's something else going on there. That's not my inebriation, but there's the Hangman. There's something. Oh God, 2 of Pentacles off balance with the devil, 9 of Swords. He was not. I would say he was not in his right mind with the the 9 of Swords and the Hangman here. Something did alter his state of being, but this is also a pleasure thing. He did not miss the bathroom. We're not talking again. Just in your mind, even if you're drunk, what made you walk down the aisle of the airplane and stop right here?
And pee on somebody.
You didn't open the
like
door,
that
you
shit.
You didn't get that smell that bathrooms have.
Yes.
There's something else there.
He enjoys it.
I think he did.
Yeah. He enjoys peeing on women.
Ugh.
Oh Lord.
Strangers though? I mean, she could have killed you.
The woman was asleep though. You know, you just on the plane sleeping.
The risk of how she gonna react. She's a stranger. She's not a willing participant. That got his jollies off even more.
You could have anything from everywhere. I don't know you. I mean, you could. What if I get itchies and scratches now? Now I'm, You know, someone mentioned Lorena Bobbitt. You know, he ain't been right since. He tried to get his junk. She took it and threw it in a field. They had to go find this fucking.
It wasn't in the field. It was in a dump. It was in a trash can.
In a trash can. Well,
don't ask.
Wherever. It wasn't on his body.
There was a 8-part miniseries on the Bobbitts. It was very good. I believe it used to be on Netflix. It was very interesting. There is no surprise. He's a huge Trump supporter. He actually has a motorcycle jacket. And that's how it ends. It's him riding off in the sunset. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, because he now has a nub. He has a piece of flaccid flesh hanging between his legs. You can never convince me.
It's right along. I mean, once a dickless man supports Donald Trump, why
why not? He's dickless too.
His dick enlargement surgery was like the worst thing it could have ever happened because he said he can still get an now. He claims he can get an erection. That's why he did the pornographic movies afterwards. But they said it disfigured it so much that it'll never look right.
Well, no, because that was back then. Now maybe now with the technology and stuff they have going on now, they might have been able to hook daddy up with a dick that looked like a dick.
I was to go to South America.
It probably looks like a fucking ball. You know, who cares? But speaking of dicks.
You and your segues.
I know. I'm here for this. It has given me so much fucking life.
There are, sex dolls and all that stuff aren't anything new. Men have had sex dolls. I used to go into Insurrection and like put my finger, you know how they have a little hole where you put your finger in it to see how it really feels. I would do all that shit. Well, now they got robot men. They got male sex dolls that do all the things that a woman wants a man to do except talk back.
God bless. It's about fucking time.
They're robot male dolls.
A very long time.
They had them. Oh God, years ago. They weren't as lifelike as they are now, but they did have them. But they weren't. No, they weren't robotic. They were just.
Dolls.
They were hyper realistic, is what they were calling. And they had all they looked like a person, but they cost like $25,000 or something because they're like they had skin and they had actual hair and all that kind of mess.
Yeah, I mean, and just leave it to some Asians. You just wait; they refine that shit. So you can call him. Come here, Eric. I'd like you to do.
Rub my foot.
Rub my foot.
Yeah, bring me some dinner, bitch.
I don't want nothing walking around the house. I mean, I understand we are surrounded by AI.
Yeah,
it is a part of our life. But there's something very legend man, I'm gonna kill you in the middle of the night about it. I don't really care for.
Like
right? Can I rest assured that when I turn this fucker off, it's
gonna stay off.
Because what I don't need is you just be walking around plotting. Because anything electronic can be hacked. And so what I don't need is for somebody
to wake up in the middle of the night and they standing over there looking at you. Oh, fuck that. Let me tell you something. Whatever I want, it has got to be the real dealio, okay? Mm-hmm. I just can't imagine. But I'm telling you, leave it to those Japanese. They gonna come up with some shit that looks and feels and acts like a real human being.
They have it. You can have a conversation with it.
They
have it. It's just not a sex doll, but they do have a person AI that you can have a conversation with and talk back and forth and all that type of stuff. You see the hologram Kanye just bought for Kim?
Oh. That bastard. He's a hologram. Shit. He don't even.
So well versed in the Kama Sutra. Because what's the point of saying "fuck me like the wild lotus jackalope"?
I think
it's not gonna know what the fuck you're talking about. Then I may as well fuck a normal dude.
I think what the thing is because they don't. Basically, you write it. That's probably.
Yeah, we don't like writing anyway. So what's the fucking point?
Yeah. It's like I'm still doing all the work. So what am I spend $25,000 to do all?
Oh yeah, I'm telling you. No. Wait on the Japanese. They're gonna have one that has some action, girl. It's gonna know how to do everything
with the microchip with the Kama Sutra 1. You know how like a Nintendo you can pull out the cartridges or throw them out, then if it's like Kama Sutra 2, then if he's like a real wild raw dog nasty fuck shit, you know, boom, college bits.
And but what is like what's the mouth part gonna be like? Because you're still a machine.
Yeah.
Like I don't need like you got to have a correct kind of tongue. Like I don't need.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Me too, Johnny.
I don't need. Like if you got cotton mouth and you a machine, like I need like.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Yep.
If even in kissing to me is the most intimate part of it. If you don't know how to kiss me, it's dead in the water. Mm-hmm. So you get a machine. I wonder how you're going to get a machine that has lips that. I mean,
now
like
the machines the dolls that they have now, which the hyper realistic ones that cost $20-something thousand, you can kiss those, but they're not kissing back.
And see what's again.
And so I'm like,
yeah. Jen Lynn says, Alexa, help Robbie Robot find my G spot.
And that's another like, what about the hand motions? What about the and then that's a good question too, Sandra. What if it shorts out? Like are you gonna jam your whole arm up my shit now?
I'm gonna go ahead and be a little vulgar. This is an adult time. It's after 10 o'clock. We all know. Every woman in this damn chat don't, because if you about to tell me you don't know what this is like, you a damn lie. Every woman knows we've had that old school rabbit that right before our shit was about to get ready, it fucking short circuited. Trying to put that fire back to get it to get just a little bit more. We all know. So imagine you getting slam jammed by this thing, and it is like.
My thing is, what if it can't stop? What if and you can't arm motion and it just shoots like. I don't need to be impaled. You go into the ER. What are you in here for today? My sex doll crippled me. What the hell?
And there's another thing too, because then what if you like to get choked? And because then
you're a gasper. If you're a gasper,
you program a safe word, pineapple, bitch, and it doesn't recognize pineapple. You choke the fuck out. TKO by your own sex doll.
I think.
Oh, maybe you can just get one and program it for what you want. But again, you got to worry about it shorting out. What do? Plug it in at night? I mean, you know.
That much money for something. I mean, goddamn. You need to work forever.
Yes, it's got to
there
have.
There should be no shorting out. Like, I understand it's still a machine, though. It is still a machine. This off topic, but on topic. This is why when people lip sync, I would never be one of them people who could do that. Like I would be afraid that it would stop in the middle of me singing. Yeah. Like, cause it's always a machine. That means
it's always a machine.
Technology.
This computer right now could just shut the hell off and I don't know what to do.
That's right. Like, that's right.
You say you want him on top of you. Okay, what if he, 260 pounds and then you can't get this big bitch off of you? Then
dead weight, full of nothing but mechanisms.
Wait till UPS come by today. Hey, can you come in here and help me? I mean,
because the female dolls for men have come a long way than the blow up doll that had a mouth that just looked like
right. And then they spread their cheeks so they vag and their booty hole is ready. You I compete. How can I compete? You don't gotta buy that bitch dinner. You ain't gotta listen to her talk about her bad day in Rockville. How Rockville at first stole your highlighter and mad your whole day's run. He gotta talk to his in-laws, nothing.
No.
How can I compete?
Oh, okay. Now we come to something that I just, in this world, I'm a pet lover. I love animals. I really do. Sometimes though, I kind of wonder if people care more about animals than they do about human beings,
I believe so.
Because there were some stores who started to pull their coconut milk products because PETA accused them of monkey slave labor.
So the monkeys were picking the coconuts for buying fucking coconut milk.
And they were calling it monkey slave labor. The monkeys would. The fuck? Okay, we know what slave labor is. Monkey. And so the people thought they would just stop selling coconut milk because they didn't want to be accused of abusing the monkeys. I'm thinking to myself, damn, what about people?
What about,
Monkeys?
not to mention all them little black children in Africa that's picking up all the cacao seeds so we can have fucking chocolate.
Chocolate. Yeah.
Them?
Go in
Yeah.
these coffee bean fields.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
ask them how much you being paid to pick these coffee beans, and I guarantee you they're gonna say zero.
All them women who want them rocks, them diamonds. Have you talked to that little boy who's got a half an arm because he was in them diamond mines?
Okay. Sue Ann Nevins and Christine Buckingham said those monkeys were chained, worked all day, and then shoved in tiny cages. Oh, monkeys were picking cocoa nuts on a chain. Well,
Sounds like slavery to me, I guess. I don't know. We were in chains at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now the answer to your question: do we care more about people or
then
it is?
our animals.
Some of us do care. I personally, I like animals. I love to watch all my animal things. I don't care more about animals than I do about people. That's not my ministry. There are some people whose ministry it is, though, to care more about animals than they do people, because animals cannot speak for themselves. They have no advocate. So therefore, some of us on earth do need to lean a little more their way. Now, if you ask me, I'm gonna go people first, because again, that's just my ministry. That's just who I am. And I just say that you shouldn't use animals to do anything for you. But then again, that's not the way the world has worked.
Yeah.
That's the way they were supposed to be used back in the day. Jesus rode a donkey. That was his mode of transportation. He didn't have a Mercedes. He didn't
have a Mercedes. I'm frozen.
They were stronger. So yeah, whatever.
Why am I frozen? Just why?
You're not frozen.
Yes, I am, because my face hasn't looked like that in a while on my phone.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, she threw me out too. Hold on a second.
Hi.
Can you hear me, Johnie?
I can hear you.
But you just can't see me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll talk to you.
I guess the monkeys is on a break now.
The monkeys is on the break. With Jason's goddamn technology. They're like, we'll show you, bitch, for not thinking we're
I ain't gonna fool with her tomorrow. Oh, sweet Mary and Joseph and Jesus.
Mary, Mother, and Joseph, Buddha, Krishna, Ganesha, Allah, Muhammad, all of y'all. Woo-wee. Oh, okay. Oh, no.
I don't even know where to go with that. I'm okay, fine. I mean, yes, animals are nicer than humans. So yeah, they do like people, or people like them more sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's just not who I am. But you do you.
It gets hard to and I'm going to go ahead and say something very unpopular, because at least you can't see my face. I'm going to hide. I'm just kidding. I'm going to say something unpopular. Where some of us struggle sometimes is when people get very outraged about, let's just say, this monkey coconut situation, but yet again, babies be in cages, Black children going without food, Black men, George, God, I just keep seeing George, that man's knee in George's neck. At what point, I understand these animals are defenseless, but at that moment was George not defenseless? Mm-hmm. Were these children in cages? Are they not defenseless? And so it becomes very challenging, because as an African-American woman, sometimes I have to go, at what point is my life?
What happened? Now we're all back. We're all live. All right, I heard the I heard what you were saying though. It's very poignant. Now let me fix this whole screen situation.
So that's all. Sometimes when you hear people so I just want to pose that to the other side who gets kind of angry. Well, these animals, and why are you? And when you see other,
because I need you to keep that same energy when you see people going through the same thing.
That's very difficult for us to know that you would. That animal is more important than my life, and I pay taxes. I have a family. I've got children. I've got that's very hard to swallow.
Yeah, it is.
They say this, there is no them. It's an us.
It's
because
us.
If they'll do it to
It's
me,
us.
they will do it to you eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they got away with it, so why wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's just hard. It's hard. It's challenging because, like I said, I get it. I trained animals in an animal shelter, volunteered for years.
What have you not done, Adrian? You tickle me. You know so much about so many things.
A lot of weird
You and Johnie. I mean, I'm just amazed that
I have seen animals who were owned by humans, who there were animals I didn't even know if we could rehabilitate them, to be honest, because they were owned by such shit humans. So yeah. I see it. But
I get it. I don't understand how anybody, I don't understand how anybody can mistreat a warm-blooded anything. Now, reptiles, I don't give a shit about a reptile or an amphibian. They make nice handbags and shoes and accessories and shit. I'm very honest about that. Lizards, all that shit, make me a belt. But when it comes to warm-blooded animals, I do think about that.
Can miss me on that being outraged about the monkeys picking coconuts, but you're gonna turn a blind motherfucking eye to any person of color, any child, anything being miss me with that shit. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. That's real talk. And that's the truth. That is the truth. There are people who treat their dogs better than they would treat another human being. And then we're back to those babies in cages. And I don't hear it, when I watched it, now we're back to being serious. When I watched the debate, I could see the pain in Joe Biden and Biden's eyes when he talked about those babies in cages.
Yeah.
It's just not right. And then we find out that Jeff Sessions ordered it, and when these lawyers said that's fucked up, Rod Rosenstein said we don't care how young they are. Then you hear about, and Joseph Soboroff on MSNBC has spent time at the border with these children, and they have had secret films and stuff. It's a shame, I'm telling you, but you know what? I have felt a sense of calm lately. I am hopeful. I'm more than hopeful. I know that, first of all, we know this monkey man up in the White House is going to come out on the 3rd declaring that he's still in office. We know he's going to do some dumb shit, claiming that all votes have to be. And if he doesn't win, it's just interesting to me how he projects. He talks about what America will be with Joe Biden when America is how it is with him.
Well, this is also a person who is in a realm he doesn't understand. So he's kind of faking it till he makes it. That's number one. Number two, when things don't go right, then he says it's rigged or it's messed up. When he doesn't really even understand the basic rules of it, because again, this is not his realm. He's a real estate tycoon, even though he's really not. He's just not name on it, and somebody else does the work, and then he signs the paper. So he doesn't really understand a whole lot of things. Therefore, he just kind of regurgitates what the last person says to him, and then he makes it up as he goes along. He's a bullshitter. I mean, he's a Gemini, so I know about that. It is easy to just make up some stuff.
Yeah, he does that.
Did y'all catch that story about now? Some about the story I'm probably missing details, which is why it's sitting kind of weird with me. Did you guys catch a story on how the Biden campaign? Now, I don't think it's necessarily Biden himself, but there was they were going to do a rally in Texas. Their tour bus was surrounded by Trumpsters. One pulled a gun out. They tried to ram the tour bus.
Really? No.
And so they were so scared they canceled it. It was supposed to be today. I can't have any of you guys in the chat let me know if you have heard the story. I need some more details. I've been trying to up until right before we went live because I was looking for them. Did they call the cops? Like, what happened? There's like some holes in this story that even after, because I read about it like let's just say noon, at 7 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, I still didn't have any more details to the story. So I'm just wondering if anybody, I saw there's a picture too, but there's holes in the story. So I'm just, they said because I read that they called the cops and the cops didn't do anything. Do we know what county it was in?
I don't know, but they're doing a bunch of shit down in Texas, to try to keep Texas red. And the people have still prevailed. I haven't heard that story though, Adrian.
Is there a video?
There's pictures.
So here's my question. Is this at the core of this, is this a fear tactic? Like, don't go vote, don't go do this, don't go canvass, don't go walk around because you might be attacked by the angry mob, because that's what the Proud Boys are.
That's what
from voting.
So that's what the Biden camp is saying. They're like, this was clearly an intimidation and a scare tactic. Only reason we're canceling is because
they're not going to put anybody's lives in danger for no.
Well, not even so much that. It was also like when we tried to get help, nobody would come help us.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Voter suppression is real. And Georgia is one of the, Stacey Abrams is a bad ass, okay? Because she prevailed in the courts. Even this last time when I stood in line from 5 p.m. to 12:30 a.m., people didn't receive absentee ballots. All people were purged. 500,000 more people were purged under this new Secretary of State. The judge said, you deprive people of their vote. So you need to show me how you went about doing this. And I have made these calls, and there are people who haven't lived in Georgia for 20 years, and they're still on the rolls. They're still on the registration. So how do you just randomly purge some shit, How do you do that? That is why I know that there is a new world coming. I'm at peace. All we can do is with our anger. See, anger can be a great motivation if you do something with it. We need to channel this anger instead of focusing on that crazy motherfucker sitting in the White House right now, tweeting up a storm because he knows that his days are numbered. He knows, Don Jr. knows, Eric knows, we ain't heard nothing from Ivanka, and that pencil neck cross-dressing motherfucker Jared Kushner trying to come out and talk about what Black people ought to be doing. You know what? Somebody needs to, Lord, stop me. Because
keep going.
You
say what's in the heart. Because I'm so angry at that thing.
I'm so angry about how can a white man tell me about what I need to be as a Black female, as a Black person in this country? How dare you? Ain't never had to hit a lick of nothing. And you want to talk about Black people need to have, you can't want more for people than they want for themselves?
He is the reason Kanye West is running for president.
Yep.
Kanye West is an asshole. He's also got that stimulus money, which Mnuchin says is proprietary. All of their friends got that money, that first stimulus money, those millions of dollars. Kanye West doesn't need no millions of dollars. He's got millions of dollars. So I wanted to just, if a thought could kill, I think I might have tried to kill him, because he's going to stand and make that comment. And yet we still got brothers sucking Trump's dick, eating the corn out of his shit and washing it down with the Kool-Aid. No.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But what we have done is that there has been a realization. There are many more of us than there are of them, of his cult followers, of his devotees. There are many more of us. So I have gotten to the point where I know when people don't want to say who they voted for. I already know who they voted for. I already know that you are a Republican and a Trump supporter. You don't even have to tell me. I don't engage in that conversation at all, because I know that deep in their hearts, they have to know, I don't care what reason you voted for him. If you're a small business person and you got a break, he gave you that tax break. You put property rights over human rights, because you don't care about the person who isn't in that tax bracket that gets that break. His people are too stupid to see that, but they are thinking that he is a white man's last chance to keep the majority. They're thinking that because this nation is getting browner and browner.
This woman up the street,
he went to women for Trump.
Actually, anybody with a Trump sign in their yard, period. The crazy thing about this is it's not him, it's what he stands for.
Right.
The garbage that falls out his mouth, because he is nothing like you. He does not even like you. He's a rich white dude who is supposed to be a tycoon. You are a person who works at the Home Depot selling lumber. He has nothing in common with you. He doesn't like you. He wouldn't want to be in your presence because you can't do nothing for him.
You can't do nothing for him.
The crazy part about it is, if he was in their family, they wouldn't like him either because of the way he is. He lies and steals. So who the fuck want a thief and a liar in their house? The crazy part is it's not him. It's just what he stands for. If he was in their family, they would hate his guts.
Yep.
That's right. Like his children do while they're not saying it. Because he's dropped them all in the sauce, okay? He's dropped every last one of them in the sauce. And I would think that they are all thinking at this moment, what the fuck can I do to get out of this? And Ivana is probably praying for her children, but she may not feel, she probably feels they deserve it. Y'all got tied up with him?
They do.
You deserve it.
They got discernment. They know right from wrong, whether they choose to do it or not. You know when your father is inciting a riot, basically. You should know these things. Now, do you care? Probably not. So you deserve what you get.
And to try to, I don't think he said anything about those group of men that were going to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer,
this is what he said. He did make a statement on that. He said maybe it was a problem, maybe it wasn't.
What kind of statement is that?
Maybe it was a problem, maybe it wasn't. Maybe they did the right thing. That's what he said out his own stupid lips. Maybe it was a problem, maybe it wasn't.
Well, you know what? Daddy gonna be having a whole lot of problems. He's got them. We have to make sure we vote, as Glenn Kirshner would say, with numbers too big to rig. We must turn out and vote. And black people who talking about you not gonna vote or you undecided at this point. You're idiots. You're idiots. Because not voting is not, Adrian said it last time, not voting isn't working either. We protest for a reason. Black Lives Matter is civil rights 2.0. I remember being a little girl when my mother and my father marched. I remembered how terrified I was having people throw shit at them, rotten fruit, eggs. And I was terrified that these people were going to kill or hurt my parents. I would never dishonor them by not voting. We have the right to vote through bloodshed. And if your black ass doesn't get that, then I might let you kiss my luscious ass, but you might enjoy it. So,
did I ever tell you guys about my mom? The story of my mom being arrested?
No.
My mom got arrested at 15. My mom grew up in this small town in Mississippi, right outside of Columbus, Mississippi, where the University of Mississippi is located. My mom was arrested at 15. She and my uncles, no, she's the older, I'm sorry. My cousins, so her older cousins were trying to vote. So what she did, and a couple of her other friends, because, back in the 60s, they were still hosing us. They were still, believe it or not, in West Point, Mississippi, there was still a poll tax. Okay.
Yeah.
15 years old, my mother and her and other Black protesters created a barricade so the police could not get at the people who were trying to vote. This is a true story because my grandmother has her arrest record. She had to pay a whopping, I believe it was $8 bail to get my mother out, and that almost bankrupted my grandmother at that time.
Yeah, $8.
I need you guys to understand something. My mother would be 66 today.
Wow.
This
Adrian.
was not 1,000 years ago. My mother
was
6 years old. She was arrested at 15 to ensure that Black people could vote. If you ask me why I vote, it's because my mother fought for her right and my right to vote.
Amen.
66 years old.
That's right. That's not a long time ago. Not a long time ago. So we've done all we can do. If you can do any more, then do what you can. I'm going to vote in person on November 3rd. I dare motherfucker to get in my face. I dare you. Because I'll tell you something. I'm going to stand with my people with all of our fucked upness, our ugliness, but there's a great deal of beauty because we have come through so much in this country, and yet we still love, yet we still pray, yet we still forgive, yet we still are kind. We have endured. We are in Hebrews 11. Faith is now faith. Right now, faith is the hope of is the evidence of things hoped for. No, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. I feel like Black Americans represent the hopes and dreams of every African nation. We're not even accepted all the time by African brothers and sisters. They don't always look at us as being related. They want to say we're weak. Oh no, we're not weak. I can't tell you how many Nigerians I've met who say to me, Black Americans don't know what they have, and I have to correct them. We know exactly what we have, and we are also well aware of what we don't have. And nigga, don't you dare get stopped by a cop because they don't care how much you love Trump and Melania. You are a Black man with an accent, and it ain't gonna make no difference. It's not gonna make any difference. So get out and vote if you haven't voted. Black people, vote. That is a gift. That was a hard fought.
Not just black people,
Not
women.
Just, thank you.
You are the majority on earth,
Yeah.
not just this country.
Yes.
Everything they stand for is the antithesis of who you are.
Yep.
The world is yours to run, so go out and do it.
And do it. Do it, do it, do it. Now I want to end this on
one more thing.
Sure, baby.
For everybody who's struggling to understand why is this, why, just remember this one thing. And even if you have to chant it to yourself as you're going to the ballot box or Tuesday when you're sitting down and we're watching the results come in, this whole thing, these white men, these women for Trump, they're scared of equality.
Yes.
Because equal rights for all of us in their mind thinks fewer rights for them. Mm-hmm. We have to show them that that's not the case.
Yeah. We have to show them that Constitution that you want to base as you want to think of as a living, breathing document is for all of us. This is a beautiful mosaic. They didn't just happen here. They are the relatives of immigrants. Mm-hmm. All of us are immigrants. We just happen to be immigrants that were furniture. We were 3/5 of a person. So let us not. No, everybody I talk to, vote. I'm voting. I am voting. I will never not vote.
Turn mine in today.
Yep, I'll be in line at 6:15 a.m. to get mine in. Yeah, and I just want to thank everybody who came on tonight, and I just want to end with some funny church stories. Now I know we have all been in black church. If you,
I need to get my tambourine.
Yes. Black church is different, see, because we believe in making a joyful noise. Okay. And I remember when I was a little girl and the Holy Ghost would catch the people. There were the mothers that would sit on the front row. See, I didn't know how much sin was going on in the church. How the pastor would come to visit people's house and everybody was just tickled. The pastor's coming for dinner. You had to dress in your best. The pastor said, he sat at the table. He got served first. Oh, my God. But when the women would catch the Holy Ghost, there was one lady who sat on the front bench of our church. I won't mention her name in case somebody's watching. Family members. And every time she shouted, she'd open her legs wide open so you can see all up in that.
You can see her potato.
Yeah, you can see her potato in her pussy. And one day we're going to get on this, we're going to get a petty party and we're going to share some of our stories that come from our churches. And we're also going to get serious for a minute and talk about what it is like to, now we're frozen again, what it's like to be Black in America. We're going to do that. So Johnie and Adrian, why don't y'all give us a card from Spirit? Give us something that we can leave on in a positive note, because I always say, rejoice in what you envision to see. This is not a time to be afraid. This is a time for us to rejoice and focus on what we desire to happen.
Sandra, my mom owned a beauty supply too. And I got stories as well from Mary Coleman's beauty supply store.
Oh, see?
The Queen of Ratchet Ratchet Sophistication owned a damn beauty supply store in Stockton Boulevard. Anybody who knows Sacramento knows Stockton Boulevard is the fucking hood. Okay,
oh, yes. Why are we frozen again? This thing feels like it's gonna kick me out and make me come back in.
It's not frozen on our end, so just
Okay.
grin and bear it
I'll
until
just,
we're over, and then.
all right. At least I look cute
You look gorgeous.
on my frozen side. Girl, can you see my cat makeup? Can you see it?
Cat freckles. Ooh, shit. The card just popped out. Okay.
So what?
I was just saying a whole bunch of cards popped out.
Oh, okay.
All right. Mine is simple. Grounding, root chakra, getting touched to Mama Earth. What positive can come from this? All right. If you are grounded, you will not freak the fuck out.
Period.
There's nothing to freak the fuck out about. Some way, shape, or form, this has to work itself out. And the more we ground ourselves, the more we connect to that beautiful Mama Earth spirit. See the roots and the tentacles of this tree digging down into Mama Earth, that star chakra all the way up top. Just breathe, ground yourself for Saturday. For fuck's sake, today's Saturday. For Tuesday.
For Tuesday.
Because here's the thing. We all know Tuesday is not going to be, it's not going to be all over but the shouting on Tuesday.
That's it.
The more you ground yourself now, the better off you will be able to cope for the crazy bullshit this motherfucker's going to do for the next 2 weeks, 3 days, until we get him firmly and confirmedly booted the fuck out. Ground yourself. Mama Earth has your back. She has heard all of your prayers, your chants, your spirit. She hears you. So just ground yourself and connect with her, and she has your back. Go ahead, Mr. Johnie.
So I pulled the Angelarium. I got Israfel. This is the angel of song. This is rejoicing. This is like the judgment. This is also one of those things that reminds you that inside exists everything you need for the outside.
Amen.
Everything. You are born on this earth with a talent that is supposed to make a way for you. Whether it is that you can speak, sing, dance, sew, whatever it is that talent is, whatever that thing is that comes naturally to you, that is supposed to make your way in the world. That's how, before businesses and online this and that was your way to make a way. But the angel of song is an angel of rejoicing. This is not as bad as it seems.
At all.
I get the way it looks. But that is because we live in an age where something is looped 24 hours a day. And then we look at it, we stare at it, we feed into it, and then we believe that this is reality always. This has come and gone before.
Yep.
We've lived through this before. As African Americans standing here talking to you, our history has been worse than it is right now.
Exactly.
If a person can survive slavery, you can survive Donald Trump. Rejoice and know that one day this too will pass.
And that's what my message is. Rejoice. Go forth in thanksgiving, go forth in gratitude, and go forth in joy, because we are victorious. It's not we're going to be. We are victorious.
Name it and claim it.
That's so. Don't be shook by what he's going to do. We already know what he's going to do. We already know it because he's always talking about it. We already know.
He tells himself. We know.
So on Tuesday night, Johnie and Adrian, Jen Lynn, Becca from the House of Lenormand, y'all are going to be doing a what do you call? You're going to be doing something that night, aren't you? You're going to be having.
It's going to be on Jen's channel, and she basically is going to host readers who wants to come on, read and chit chat and all that type of stuff. So it'll just be a hangout session.
Yeah.
So go to Jen Lynn's. It was a Jen Lynn's Tarot.
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when it starts.
Right. Get your wine or your hard liquor, whatever you need. Get you some snacks and some food, and get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. And get ready to put on your dancing shoes, children. Cause we gonna catch the Holy Ghost. And we'll be doing that dance, that step they do in the church when they catch it. This is our time. And again, I want to thank everybody that came on tonight. It was fun. Don't put no potatoes in your pussy.
Unless that works for you.
Unless that works for you.
If you don't want the robot dick, use the potato in the pussy.
I mean, maybe that's your get down and get down with it.
Right. I'm not judging.
Easier to get out. I'm just saying.
I pass no judgment. Whatever blows your skirt up, Oh, thank you, Johnie, and thank you, Adrian. Adrian at Red Lentil Healing, Johnie at Tarot's Apprentice. He's amazing. They're both amazing. Show them some love and some support. And for all of you that came, I want to wish you a good night. We will all meet on Jen Lynn's channel, and we're going to have more fun. I'm telling you, look forward to fun. Don't get shook. Just don't. And as soon as this phone is hot in my hand, I'm wondering if I'll be able to end this thing. Thank you so much. I had a ball. I figured we needed a chance to laugh. Because this has been a long ass 4 years. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Feels like 100. But I love Brian Williams, who comes on MSNBC, counting the days.
It'll be over soon.
It'll be over soon. So peace to all of you and sweet slumber. We'll see you in November.
November 14th.
November 14th. We'll come on and it'll be a real party. Yeah. All right. Peace, everybody. Good night. Girl, my phone is frozen like a motherfucker.
You're still live, man.
By the way.
Oh, there we are. We're back.
We never left.
I'm glad I could join you. All right, good night.